Hello there. Sup? How's it going? Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I am not particularly looking forward to covering this. I am not terribly impressed by this situation. I haven't watched The Apology yet. I've tried to avoid watching it. I did see some people commenting about it, Pirate Software in particular. Let's start with me being as transparent about biases I may or may not have. I'm not a fan of Asmongold. I haven't watched a ton of his content, but anytime I see his content, I'm like, not for me, at best. At worst, it's basically telling me that I have no use in society, and so, like, needless to say, I am not terribly keen, since, you know, his opinion of me and other artists, at best, seem to be that we are useless. Bold, coming from somebody who makes a living playing video games, which are made almost entirely by creatives, and the thing that seems to be wrecking the game industry seems to be, you know, gamers and business people. But, you know, that's my bias, admittedly, out the gate. Particularly his takes on AI have been really bad. So, you know, his misogyny tends to be really problematic, but, you know, we'll see. That's just where I'm coming from. Art has no intrinsic value. It makes me just think he doesn't know what the word intrinsic means. Hey, welcome. Happy Monday. So that's my bias of where I'm coming from. I have played games the majority of my life. I've been playing Supermarket Simulator recently, but I've played League of Legends. I played Call of Duty Nazis when it came out, when it was like the zombie Nazis. I've been playing games a good portion of my life. So, you know, I'm not terribly unaware of the scenario and kind of what gaming is and what gaming culture is like. So that's a little bit of my background and where I'm from. If you're new here, I'm Chesh. Welcome. You are going to see some channel changes in the near future, so look out for that. I'm hoping to streamline things a little bit better, but I'm still working on it, so don't get your knickers in a twist. Wednesday is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I will not be talking about Project 2025 on Wednesday because I am going to do that on another channel. I'm going to go guest over on Answers in Reason and... Reason to Doubt. Sorry. I'll be over on Reason to Doubt's channel doing sort of more of a discussion format over there. And then later on in the day, we'll be looking at one of the people we cover on Mondays with a friend of mine, Egghead, and we're going to play a drinking game. So join us for that, but that will be later in the evening. So let's get into this. I'm going to go in order, though. We're going to start this thing. His apology actually comes last. So in order of events, we have sort of the viral clips that were going around. I found two that were relatively making their ways about. I picked the longest one I could find, as well as this one that actually had the discussion with Hassan. Now, for anybody who's followed me for any length of time, I'm not particularly a big fan of Hassan either, for other reasons, but it's okay. We don't need to go into that. I'm not here to pick on him today. God, I'm very critical, aren't I? Jeez, I'm not happy with anybody. But let's take a listen. Let's take a see and get into this. I'm almost tentative not to play this. It's gonna get my channel struck or some shit.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people.
So we're starting off with ignorance about both Sharia law as well as, like, cultural importance. So if you want to talk about whether or not genocide is built into their rules and their laws, America has genocide built into its laws. America was built on genocide. America was all, like, Christianity, whom a lot of Americans right now claim American laws are built on, the Bible has genocide in it. I did an entire video talking about this, particularly about a guy named William Lane Craig, who is a relatively popular Christian apologist. Excuse me. A relatively popular Christian apologist who has basically made modal arguments justifying genocide that's in the Bible. So to try to pretend like nobody else has, this is the Old Testament, by the way, that this genocide takes place in. So, no? Having genocide in your history or genocide into your culture in places isn't really, if you're not doing it, isn't really that big of a deal, but also gross misrepresentation of both modern day belief systems, and okay, great, not a good start.
It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing.
That is nonsensical. How do you know that? How is they doing the same thing to these people that you're already admitting is bad an argument towards why these other people should be allowed to do it? This is like as childish as two wrongs don't make a right. So like, if I punch somebody in the face, and my excuse is, well, they would have punched me in the face if they had the chance, I'm still gonna get in trouble for assault. It doesn't mean I didn't assault somebody and that I shouldn't be assaulting people. Saying they would genocide, and you don't even know that that's true. That's such an insane hypothetical, because you have to completely flip the script and make so many assumptions, and that is a gross misrepresentation of geopolitics. Geopolitics is very, 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 very complicated, and boiling it down to genocide is okay because X people are bad. We didn't genocide Germany in response to Germany doing a genocide. That's not how that works. That wars happen, and it's awful, and people die during those wars, but we have agreements around the world about what like the rules of engagement. Like, to just disregard that and be like, yeah, but they would have done it if they were us. It's like, okay, but they're not you, so, and you're the one doing it, so stop. Is not a complicated concept, and to have this childish idea is baffling to me.
And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing.
How do you know that? What makes you think that that's true? How are you justifying this? This doesn't make any sense. The fuck is wrong with you? Same thing.
That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is...
America kills people for their identity. What are you talking about? Look at the current Supreme Court and the laws it's passing. Look at the anti-LGBT stuff. Look at the amount of racism. Like, in what world do you not do you view yourself? How arrogant do you have to have this point of view, right? Like, this is not reasonable. This is not even remotely close to accurate. How long has Israel been oppressing Palestine for? Do you think that's just not a factor? Because that's 100% a factor. Desperate people do desperate things. Does that mean those things are okay? No. But it's just a fact. So, what? Especially bold coming from somebody who's made their entire personality being the grungiest rich person on Twitch. Like, okay, alright. Inferior. This fucking guy, alright.
Directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture.
Incorrect. Not antithetical at all. Again, America kills LGBTQ plus people. Trans people, gay people. Has killed trans people, gay people. Has killed hundreds of thousands of people. Genocided the people who lived in America before white people got there. It's not... What do you mean? That's just that's just so bafflingly untrue. It's not like people don't use Christianity either, since he brought up Sharia law. It's not like people don't use quote-unquote Christian laws to justify the oppression of other people. America recently had a storming of the Capitol. Like, what do you mean? What are you even trying to suggest here? Like, absolutely not. Not only is it not antithetical, you know what is antithetical to a large portion of individual people that live in Western culture? Genocide. Most people think genocide is bad. Most people have thought genocide is bad for quite a lot of time. Relatively. So, like, people thought genocide was bad in World War II. That's one of the reasons why World War II happened. People thought the Vietnam War was real bad. The Vietnam War was not popular in America. The people who lived in America were not happy with it. There were a lot of protests. Lots of people do not agree with what Israel is doing. And America's being a dick about it. The ceasefire was vetoed by America. So how in the flying fuck are you gonna look anybody dead in the eye and say that this is antithetical to what Western culture believes? You're basically just saying genocide is okay if we do it. Or if people we approve of do it, and you just, for whatever reason, don't approve of people in Palestine because of quote-unquote Sharia law. Which is meaningless. That's a meaningless statement.
In all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
If they're going to be homophobic and Israel's killing them versus they're going to be homophobic and Israel's not killing them, I prefer the they're going to be homophobic and Israel's not killing them outcome. I think we can agree on that, right? Especially if we both come to the recognition that it...
Oh, sorry, I did my thing backwards, my bad. I was saying that this is what this is part of what he said. I'm gonna go look at this other part of what he said. My bad. I clicked my button backwards. I said, Jesus fucking Christ. I just read out the tweet. I didn't actually say anything more. And Jesus fucking Christ, this was Asmongold at the end of his conversation with Hassan. After hours of talking, the conclusion Hassan tries to arrive at is we can agree that killing people is worse than not, and Asmongold responds with a disgusting smirk and sarcastic replies. My bad.
Israel killing them is not going to... If they're going to be homophobic and Israel's killing them versus they're going to be homophobic and Israel's not killing them, I prefer the they're going to be homophobic and Israel's not killing them outcome. I think we can agree on that, right?
I think we can agree that I don't think this is a fair representation. I also don't think this is a fair representation of what Hassan is actually trying to get at. I think this is reductive, and I think it's reductive because having a conversation with Asmongold seems like it's just reductive by nature. His understanding of these situations and of these politics seems like less than kindergarten level. Like, like the lack of consideration and understanding of both the greater context and even the concepts that he's discussing in the first place, as well as the callous nature by which he is approaching them, I think is reductive and doesn't do anything. Like, this to me is get back in your fucking lane about something you're also wrong about. Like I said earlier, he said something along the lines of art has no intrinsic value. And when he said that, all that made me think was that he doesn't know what the word intrinsic means. Not that there was some greater discussion to be had about the value of art in society or the value placed on artists in society. And as I said earlier, bold of somebody who makes their living playing video games made by creatives, by and large. So, there's... What is your lane? What productive thing do you have to offer? And the problem is that I think as of up to this point of this video at the very least, Asmongold had built his millions of dollars and his large fan base off of being disgusting. Like, that's his brand is being gross and saying reductive, stupid things. And I think that there's a like, poorly thought out is what I mean by stupid. It's not like it can't be a thought out position to have. It's just he's not thought out. It's like, so it's, I just don't, the greater conversation, I think, here is why was someone so popular to begin with? And I think the answer is that the algorithm is not curated properly or enough. There's not enough of maintenance that goes into the algorithm because it pushes and brings up like this outrage culture, as well as doesn't care about accurate information, as well. Like, it's blind to these things. All it cares is whether or not you clicked on it and stayed on it, right? It doesn't care about what it is. It can't see what it is, right? And it's the same problem with, like, it's the exact same problem with AI art. It doesn't see what, it doesn't know what you're asking for, right? All it knows is numbers. So it's the same problem. And unless we curate these robots, this machine learning, we're basically, this is the robot apocalypse that books warned us about. It's not coming with Terminators and guns, it's coming with algorithms and limiting your choices and controlling you via you not being able, in some cases. Like, the YouTube algorithm can be very, very aggressive. So it's very hard to not utilize the algorithm, right? It's near impossible. And Google's facing struggles with this, and, well, I mean, YouTube is part of Google, but I mean, like, the Google search engine, and YouTube is facing the same trouble. I've heard that YouTube is planning on trying to roll back the algorithm so it's not as aggressive, and I hope that's successful, quite frankly. But anyway, what's he gonna say? What Hassan said is reductive, but I'm being gracious and charitable toward Hassan that this is after a long conversation of trying to just get Asmongold to, like, engage like a human, but he's built his entire brand off of being a cockroach LARPing as a human. So, you know...
On that, right? Especially if we both come to the recognition that Israel killing them is not going to combat homophobia at all.
Okay. All right.
Sure, yeah.
We can come to that agreement.
Okay, great. All right, perfect. That's it.
Yeah.
And beyond
we
that,
can
like
do
I
that.
said, it's not. It's if they're going to be homophobic and Israel's killing them versus
His body language. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't... if you have to try so hard... Like, what? Okay. So, needless to say, this was his post in response. Looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. Okay. This is a really bad statement. Like, really bad. And on the surface, it's way worse than it seems. All right, this is really bad. My bad was bad enough, right? It's dismissive, right? Oh, my bad. Like, you can say my bad as an apology for like mundane things, but like, second off, too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. You mean the genocide, or do you saying they deserve to be genocide because they're inferior? Which thing are you apologizing for? Both? And then you'll notice the gaslighting in here. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. They're being genocided. These people are being bombed and killed in the street. To say they're having their lives destroyed, their lives are already destroyed. Their country is in ruins. They are smushed. They've had their water cut off. They've had their internet cut off. The violations for like just human rights. Israel's been killing medics. Like what do you mean having their lives destroyed? We're way beyond that. And you know that's not what you said. What you said was that they deserve to be genocided because they're inferior. This is beyond just saying stupid shit. I'll do better. This is such a bad there are just normal families being targeted by like ballistics in apartments. Like and it's not like Israel's hiding it either. They were for a little while, but bro, like this is so bad. This is such a bad non-statement. So he makes this apology. Oh, also this happened. He got one of his Twitch channels removed. Not both of them. The Zack one. This one. The Zack one that he uses. That one got temporarily banned. I don't know how permanent that's gonna be or what's gonna happen. Also Starforge. We have spoken to Asmongold, because Asmongold was like a founding partner. We have spoken to Asmongold and have mutually agreed to part ways. Starforge unequivocally rejects all forms of discrimination, hatred, and violence. We stand by and align ourselves with those around the world seeking to foster acceptance, unity, and dignity. That was the official statement. So, at least those two things had happened. I just want to double check the timing on this, because this apology video came out 5 days ago on October 16th, and this statement came out also on October 16th. Okay, so I just want to make sure I had this right. So, let's watch this. It's 20 minutes. This is his, it's titled My Plans Moving Forward. As far as I know, this is on 2.99 million subscribers on YouTube, because he didn't lose his YouTube platform over this, right? It was just his one Twitch channel. So far, the punishment or like the consequences that he's received is having one of his channels temporarily banned. So take that as you will, but this statement from Starforge was also October 16th. Right? So it was like it was relatively quick. Right? So he makes this shitty when did he make this statement? Wait, where's the other one? Wait. This. October 14th. So it was like all within a week, like the span of a week that this happened. So let's hear him out. I mean, that first apology didn't go over well, and so he made this one 2 days later. Already not a good look, because that sounds, this is already coming across from a bad space. So maybe it will be. I'm not trying to cast shade on it yet. We don't know. I'm just saying he said these things. He got backlash, made an apology. That apology got backlash because this isn't an apology. This is gaslighting. This is not I'm actually sorry and understand what I said was wrong. And then he got backlash where it started to have consequences to his bottom line, as in the amount of money he was able to make. And then we got this apology. So this is already not a great series of events. But you know what? Maybe the consequences spurred at least some kind of... We'll see. Let's find out. Ick.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try...
Well, it's not titled apology. It is titled My Plans Moving Forward. So there's that. If the apology is in here, I don't necessarily think this is a great start. I made it 8 seconds. Bro said 3 words, and I'm like, oh no, okay. Sorry, we'll start it.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into 2 parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And I want to talk about what the reason for that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear.
Okay. All right. So you appreciate the criticism that you've gotten over the years? Or recently? I don't know which. I don't know what part of that... Which part is ridiculous? And which part is sounding insincere? The part that you're thankful that people have come out and spoken about this? Like what I'm doing right now, for example. Is that what you're saying is sounding ridiculous? Or are you referencing something further in the video? I am trying to take this with as much charity as I possibly can.
So, a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, some just general, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to, mince words or, try to, oh, I wasn't justifying or, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say.
You said they weren't innocent, though. You didn't call them innocent people. You said they were inferior people who would have done that to other people. So are you... Okay, again, I'm trying to take this with as much grace and charity as I can, which I think is asking a lot. I'm not from Palestine. I'm not Middle Eastern, so I'm not the offended party. So if anybody from that culture decides to spit on this, I think they're well within their right. I'm not the offended party, so maybe it's a little bit... Maybe I'm overstepping and being too charitable, and you guys are welcome to let me know, and I will definitely take that criticism on board. So is he stating that those people were innocent, as opposed to not? Right? So when he said these people have Sharia law and would kill people and do kill people, he's saying that's wrong now, and now he's saying they're innocent people, or is that now a subsect that's still, or is he creating another subsect? I'm going to assume that what he means is that the Palestinian people aren't these things that I claimed that they were.
And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really, but when I'm using language like Palestinians or the...
What apology? I don't think what I said was racist when I said this racist thing. Okay, well, goodbye, Charity. So long. We're done here. Okay, goodbye. Oh, no. Fuck me, dude. I tried so hard and got so far. And in the end, I only made it 2 minutes. Oh boy. Okay, well, that's not good. So, when I tried to give you charity a minute ago, and I was trying to be like, oh, well, maybe you this is what you meant, and I'm trying to give you that you didn't mean to say all these things about Palestinians. What you were actually doing was misrepresenting what you said. That's what you were doing. So you could say that what you said wasn't racist. No, what you said was racist. We played it. Very racist. You said that they come from an inferior people. That's racist. It doesn't make it, even if he's about to go on and say that what I said about these people when I was using this language is untrue, that doesn't make it not racist. You can say I said these things and I was being over hyperbolic and that was inappropriate of me, and let people then decide if you're racist or not. Misrepresenting what you said and then saying, but what I said, I don't think what I said was racist. when it was like, I don't know if you can get more racist than your people are inferior to my people. I don't know if you can get more racist. Oh, yeah, let's do it. I kind of feel bad bringing Mark into this, but I mean...
And I think that it's dumb and it's stupid. I think that it's stupid.
I think that's dumb and I hate it. I tried so hard. I tried so hard, and like he immediately threw me under the bus. And he's just gonna justify using the language. It doesn't matter if you think you were justified or not. It's still racist. Oh no! Okay. Alright. Why would anybody even take anything he says after this part seriously? Like, he's already said that what he's about to say sounds ridiculous and that it is earnest. And like, okay, you know what, I'll believe that you're earnest and that you don't think what you said was racist. You're wrong. It's racist. Hit. It's like, it's not even, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm on repeat. I'm repeating myself. Like, how do you get more racist and more like the quintessential definition of racism is hating and believing that you are better than another group of people. He said they deserved it. He said they were inferior. That's not good. Am I the only one who noticed this? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna put this back. I'll put this back, let him keep talking. I don't know how you get past the 1:30 mark. I'm at 1:40. Like, you get to 1:30 and it's like, okay, well, this is over. Alright, you know what? Go from here. Go from 1 minute.
So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, you know, some just general, you know, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to, like, mince words or, like, try to...
Okay, it's important to note, in listening to it back again, I hadn't seen this before. This is my first time viewing it. You didn't just say things about Palestine and Hamas. You said things about the Palestinian people, like the individuals, like who they are. That's like saying, that's just like, okay, again, I was trying to be as charitable as I could be by saying, well, maybe he's just generalizing his comment because there was a lot in it. But if you're gonna do that, you should acknowledge that I said a lot of wrong things. But that's not what he does, because that's not what he's doing. This is just as bad as this. He's gaslighting. He said bad things. Oh my god. Bad things. You said racist shit. No! I don't think he gets to explain. Why should I listen to him explain beyond this? He literally just said that he's not sorry. He said, I don't believe what I said was racist. I don't, like, you can't, like, sure, great, you're wrong. Okay, I'll let him go. I'm sorry. He's blowing my mind. Alright, go.
Like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, you know, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really. But when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism.
Your real language? What does he mean his real language? Does he mean not specific? Does he mean he was generalizing Palestine to say religious extremist in Palestine? But he already said that he was using Hamas as a separate term. Body language very neutral, he doesn't give a shit. Yeah, I will also point out, let everybody know, early voting has begun in Texas. Go vote. Go vote in Texas if you're in Texas. This isn't what he said, though. He's misrepresenting what he said and what the criticisms have been so far. Whew. Okay. I don't see how this is gonna get any better.
Like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism.
Sorry, I'm listening to this one more time. Is he... The language is, the words he's using is a little bit garbled. Sorry.
By another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really. But when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very...
When I'm using language like the Palestinians rather than what my real language was, what I said wasn't racist, but... Alright. Okay.
Very outspoken and very against religious extremism. And I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in like kind of positions below you as like, you know, like gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religion.
You did that. You took an entire people and said they were inferior to you, and as justification for another religious extremist group to slaughter them in the streets. That's what you did. That thing you just said that you were outspoken against is the thing you did. That's the problem here. What? Sorry, I'll let him continue.
My problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort, and I feel like almost, I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can...
What do you mean almost? Your real language, you almost not racist, but... This isn't an apology video. I mean, I get that there's no apology in the description. Rose, wait, you mean to tell me that Jared Kushner didn't solve the Middle East problem? Wow. I thought he read all the books, though. Is there, like... There's nothing in the description either for this. This is special pleading, by the way. Yeah, it is. Let me just remind you guys what he said.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that.
It's not just that you didn't try to draw a distinction between religious extremists and innocent Palestinians. You said that Sharia law and killing people was baked into their culture, which brings all... You're lumping them all together. You didn't just try not to draw distinctions or seem like you went out of your way. You literally lumped everyone together. By the way, when you say that it's bad for religions to use their religion to oppress people or kill people based on their identity, that's what Israel is doing. That's what a genocide is. And Israel is using religious excuses to do it. It's part of their propaganda. So why is it okay for Israel to do it? And his answer for that, he already answered. His reasoning, his justification for it was because, well, if Israel didn't do it, then Palestine would be doing it. The frustrating thing here is that I know the long and arduous history of Israel and Palestine from back in the early 20th centuries and a bit before that, and he's ignoring all that history. Yeah, I brought that up before you got here. You're 100% correct. As if there aren't... As if Israel hasn't been oppressing Palestine for a very, very, very long time. Okay, well... This is gaslighting. This is also generalizing that all Palestinians are Muslims and they are not. Right. Also that. It's like generalizing all Americans. This is like if I were to turn around and say all Americans deserve to be genocided by Mexico because Americans killed as many Mexican people as they could, and through policies that are baked into their laws, because they're all Christian extremists that want to kill LGBTQ plus people. That's not okay. That's not even accurate. So why do you think it would be accurate for anybody else? I could just be like, America deserves to be wiped off the map because they let women die due to their religious beliefs around abortion and abortion bans. That would be an equivalence. So, like, what? No, that's not acceptable. It doesn't even make any sense.
Like, almost, I've rewatched the clip, right? Or a number of the clips. And it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here...
So what did you do then? You've almost done this, you had done this, you didn't do this. What did you do?
Can easily say that we're against religious extremism, and I am. But whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this like group, then I'm the asshole, and I was the asshole. I had a lot of you guys tell me that, and it's taken me. This is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, I don't really even know what the word is for it. Just like the most
Racist misogynist. You're racist and misogynistic. And hateful. Is the word you're looking for gooner? Like, what? What? Here's the thing, if you're admitting that what you said was bad, why do you need to deflect from it? Like, I'm not racist, but I just don't like religious extremists, and I'm painting everybody from a particular religion as if they're all extremists. He's still doing it. He's still doing it in this video. He's saying that his statements would be justified if all of the people in Palestine were Muslims who believed in Sharia law, because he's then also assuming not only do they believe in Sharia law, but they're also weaponizing it and implementing it in a way that kills people. Which isn't necessarily, that's happening in some places where there is some of that happening, but to generalize an entire religion and an entire culture that way is problematic. And racist. Not... he's still doing it! You're still doing the thing!
This mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my friends have told me this. My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some level of accountability for that. And thank God.
Oh? And what was that? You having a Twitch account temporarily removed? One that you don't make money from? This thing? This is the accountability? Admitting that everybody's kind of just let you get away with this shit for 2 years is a really big criticism of Twitch and Twitter and YouTube as platforms. And kind of maybe your friends a little bit, but, you know, I don't know about your personal relationships. Okay.
I look back at some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible, and I think it's...
So he still thinks that what he said was correct, but he was a dick in the way that he said it? Like what? Do you think he's gonna give me I would love an example?
Looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, you know, just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you lose a perspective on reality. And you...
What are you talking about? Are you talking about streaming? Are you talking about the instant gratification or the positive or negative feedback loop that you're getting from chat? What are you talking about? This is so vague.
Lose a perspective on the world. And I think that that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before when I was making comments like this. And
making comments like what? You still haven't said what you said. You gave a vague generalization that mischaracterized what you actually said. Twice. In this video and in your original my bad tweet. This reads so badly. Oh good lord.
I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm.
You feel stupid. Stupid was the first. Okay. Okay. Yeah, all right.
I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, "Oh, go kill yourself. I hate you." Everything like this. Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. I've always been I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist, and even as a young kid I was raised Roman Catholic, and I was always very defiant towards it, and I've always had a negative opinion of religion, and I've also had a negative opinion of religious cultures, and I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chose to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like
No, Mania. He said that he doesn't believe what he said was racist. Okay, maybe baby steps. You know what? Maybe we can readjust our perspective here, because we really need to readjust our perspective for Asmongold. That's what we need to do. He's special, so I guess we treat him like he's special for some reason. I don't know why we're bending over backwards for this fucking asshole who admits he's an asshole, but if we're going to do that, then maybe this is the baby step. Maybe first he realizes he's been being a dick, and then maybe he then, after more and long in-depth it gives him the opportunity to introspect. And then maybe his introspection will lead him to understand why what he said was racist. So, like, maybe what we're seeing here is just, like, the first baby step of, oh, I got slapped on the wrist and had some of my platform taken away and some of my money taken away, and so I have to tell everybody that I'm an asshole. And he hasn't accepted, like, all of the criticism, but he's accepted some of the criticism, and so, like, this is step 1, and then, like, maybe we're gonna see step 2 later down the line, and step 3 later down the line. I still don't think this guy should be platformed. Like, I'm not seeing why we have to enable him. Like, what, why should we, I mean, I guess people don't have to accept this. It's still not an apology yet. We haven't gotten to the apology part, I guess. He's supposed to be talking about why he got kicked off of Twitch right now. So, I don't know.
like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and, like, you know, like, let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in, like, 2016, 2017, 2018, like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I really am. I
You're sorry that you feel like a belligerent asshole? Well, I mean, I'm sorry you made it into the video, I guess. What are you sorry for? That people, that you feel like you're a belligerent asshole because people who followed you for a really long time reached out to ask you how you were doing? Huh? I'll play it again. He said, I feel like a belligerent asshole, I really do, and I'm sorry for that. Because, okay.
hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do, and I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely, like, let's try to work this out, right? We love you. Like, I had viewers messaging like any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people, like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and, like, you know, like, let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in, like, 2016, 2017, 2018, like, I love your...
So, question. Did you not care unless they had been followers of yours for a really long time? What?
Your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do, and I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism.
Okay, I think I know what he wants you to think that he's saying, but the order of events doesn't convince me. So he says, these people who have been following me for a really long time got to hear these awful things from me, things that he hasn't specified, and things that he's already made excuses for, and explained why what he said was actually okay, but he said it in a bad way for some of the things, but he's super vague about it. And then these people who've been following for a long time had to see him say these things, and that he feels bad and he's sorry about it. He feels like an asshole and he's sorry about it. Sorry, he doesn't feel bad for that. He feels bad for feeling like an asshole. And this is the problem with this language. I think the language here is, like, the order in which he says these things off the cuff is actually giving away more than what is actually what he wants you to take away from it. What he wants you to take away from it is, I said bad things, my followers reach out to me, and I'm sorry they had to hear from me, those bad things from me, I'm a dick. That would be the order that I would believe, right? That would, like, if he said that, it was just like, I'm a dick, I'm an asshole, and is just like, these people came to me, and I'm so sorry that I made you have to listen to that, and and I'm sorry that I made you feel bad, and I'm sorry that you felt that you had to reach out to me after you've been following me for so long just for me to have said these awful things. I'm sorry. I feel like such a dick. That would be fine. That's not the order we get. We get, I said some things, but I was justified, or I was correct. Some people reached out to me, and I felt like an asshole, and I'm sorry for that. This is telling me that the thing you're actually sorry for is you feel bad because you got backlash. That's why, and you don't like how that makes you feel. Which makes your apology about you. oh me this, oh my atheism that, and oh my job is so busy that I just lost excuse. How did people come away from this thinking it was genuine? The only time he gets, like, mobile in the way he talks or engages when he's talking about himself. Again, he's also still misrepresented what he even said in the first place, and then even after he misrepresented it, still said it wasn't racist to begin with. So what exactly is he sorry for? We don't know. The only thing we can go off is his language, and his language says he feels like he's an asshole, and he's sorry for that. He's sorry for feeling like an asshole. Oh, God. The rhetorical switches on this man.
And I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think that I really do.
And then he says, I'm really sorry, and then it says, I really am, and then immediately justifies what he was saying. Like, listen really closely. Pay attention.
In 2017, 2018, like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do, and I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism. And
I think what he said, he literally just said, what he did, he thinks is extremely fair. So what is he sorry for? Bro. Ugh.
I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism, and I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is, and I'm really sorry for that. I've just
Okay, that's something we can work with, but is it accurate? You think it's unfair? You think that it's fair to criticize religious extremists, but you don't think it's fair to categorize everybody of that religion in that group. But that's not all you did. You didn't just criticize religious extremism. The clip that we watched didn't have religious extremism actually being criticized. It had you painting the entirety of Palestine, of having a belief that they do not necessarily hold, and that they act on a belief that they don't necessarily hold in a very specific way, which they do not necessarily do, and that they deserve to be genocided for it because having those beliefs and those systems is inferior to you. That's what you said. You didn't criticize religious extremism. If you were criticizing religious extremism, you'd be criticizing Israel. Because they're the ones doing the genocide. And half of their propaganda is religious extremism rhetoric. He's 100% minimizing his actions. He's minimizing and misrepresenting it in its entirety. That's still racist, by the way. He's still doing the racist thing by saying all Palestinians have this belief, or at all, period, because that's just not true. So, why are we... So you're sorry for something that you didn't do. Because that's not what you did. God fucking damn it. And that's after 6 minutes, nearly 7 minutes of him justifying and making excuses before he got to this part. You know, maybe if you had started your video here, Maybe. Would have been good. Better? Would have been a better start. Yeah, I can check Discord real quick. How do people view this as... Do people actually believe this is genuine? Alright, tell me in the chat. Chat, do you think... I'll put up a poll. I'm gonna put up a poll for you guys. I want you guys to... You know what? We'll just do it. Fuck the poll. 1 in the chat if you believe that he's genuine. 2 in the chat if you don't believe he's genuine. 69, 420 also count. And 42 all count as no's. So, no... 2 in the chat if you do not believe he is genuine at 7 minutes into this video. 1 in the chat if you believe that this is genuine so far. That's funny. That's funny, Jax. I like that. He's as genuine as Aaron. 420, 42, 2. Are there people who actually listen to this and believe it's genuine? Hell, I turned this off after, like, I was done before 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes into this and he said, I don't believe what I said was racist. What your culture is inferior to mine. I don't believe that's racist. Huh? Eh? 2 and 3. He's bad at talking. Yeah, sure. I mean, he could have scripted this. Oh, boy. Oh, God. The context around this even makes it worse when he tried. He already tried to do this dismissive apology. He already tried and failed, and this is him just trying to do it again. Oh, God.
Been a fucking dick. And it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I had planned on streaming and everything, and I actually got a text message from one of my mods. They said, oh, I heard about the suspension, I'm sorry. And I was like, I remember I was like driving, and like, you know, you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad.
Then you're not sorry. Then you're not sorry. You just said that criticizing religious extremism was acceptable and should happen, and then you said the comments that you made were pretty much about religious extremism, and that you think religious extremism is bad. You're covering him tonight, Mikey? Oh my god, put a link. Hold on, I'm gonna give you mods. Put a link in so you can... I'm giving you mods so you can put a link in. Don't worry, I'm not gonna force you to be a moderator here. But I want you to be able to share your stuff. So yeah, throw a link in. If anybody wants to go check out what Mikey has to say about this, I definitely recommend it. I'm sure what Mikey's gonna say is gonna be worth listening to. His story is also disjointed, by the way. Massive moron Monday. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. What is... I tried so hard to be like, you know what, maybe he's genuine, maybe he means it, maybe let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Moo! Holy shit, dude.
but I've categorized a lot of people in that way that was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece.
But you're not, but you think what you said was correct. You're still racist, and you believe that you weren't racist in the first place. And you also think that if they were religious extremists, they would deserve to be genocided? Huh? Again, it's still vague. So what? You think that your statements were justified and correct, but the part that wasn't was that you didn't separate out all of Palestinians' people to all religious extremists? Is that what you're saying? This is so unclear. Or are you sorry for saying that their culture is inferior to yours because you haven't touched on that yet? Because saying that has nothing to do with the religious extremist part. That's just, the religious extremist part is just being used as a shield. Yeah, and then we turn in and what do you consider an extremist? All you said was Sharia law. And that was in the clip. You didn't even say that in this video. So what's a religious extremist to you? Read a book. Maybe if you want to talk about like the things that are gonna make you a better person and things you want to do with your life, could one of them be read a book? Can you just go like watch a bunch of Reading Rainbow and like follow along? Like maybe that'll help. I don't know.
It was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much.
So he's saying that he still believes all these things, but he worded it poorly. That's all but he's not saying how or in what way. Okay? He has not once mentioned that he was okay with genocide, did he? No, he did. He said that he said that. I'll play the clip again. It's not whoops, I just closed it. Hold on, let me reopen that. Reopen the clip. No. Reopen close tab. Sorry, my bad. Let me play the clip again. Here you go.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing.
Had a question. Why are Israel and Palestine not on the same playing field, Asmongold? Why are those two countries not on the same playing field? I'm just curious if you happen to know the reason.
That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
So these, this isn't like even the only thing he said. This is just one of the biggest clips floating around. As if this isn't bad enough, bro doesn't know there are Christian Palestinians. Bro doesn't know that there's like atheist Palestinians or any like that Palestine just equals. He thinks that Palestine just equals Sharia. which is racist. He's straight up just misrepresenting and downplaying what he actually said. He's like, oh, well, I was an asshole. Huh? What?
I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit.
You're racist.
I don't know what else to say. And so, actually, I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter.
If you think words don't matter, then what is the last 8 minutes of this video? What is your content? You're a content creator that sits around and talks all day. What do you mean? Listen, alright, I understand what he's trying to say is, like, actions matter more than words, but the problem is when you make your living talking, and your words matter. Your words are actions because you're not just saying words. You are promoting ideas. You are sharing information. It's weird that he just keeps slumping into his atheism. Yeah, that is really weird. It's really weird.
I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter.
No, you don't like making apologies because you're an arrogant prick and an asshole. That's why.
But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable.
Huh? You're gonna make people watch your content? To prove it? Oh. Oh no. Oh. Okay.
Accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it. Mouth is pretty dry. Anyway, so the second part about this is that I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc. And
bro, that's all you've been doing. I'm an atheist. I was driving in my car. I this, me that. I was stressed out because of my job. I got inside my own head. All you've been talking about is your personal life up to this point. What the fuck do you mean? How this affected you, how you felt like an asshole.
And kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through to get here. So the main thing is that for the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, if you look at my life like this.
Oh my god, Letty, you're 100% right. He just said words don't matter, but actions do, and then said that his actions are gonna be his content being better, which is him speaking words. That's what his content is. So his... Oh no.
I would have said 10 years ago, or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been...
That's very sad. Jack for 5 says Asmongold's mind. In Asmongold's mind, words don't matter. Art has no intrinsic value. The only thing that matters is to gain clout, to live like a lazy bum. Ugh. Yo, he's stressed out? Yeah, he's stressed out because of his job, but apparently streaming is his entire life, and yeah, that's not healthy. That's not good for you. Anybody who's a streamer should still be, you know, out and touching grass. That's a thing you should do. You need to take a break from your job sometimes. Like, there's a reason that your jobs are generally 40-hour work weeks and stuff like this. This is, I mean, I can understand getting stressed out by your job and saying something stupid, but that's not what you did.
Extremely unhealthy for me. And I think that what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such a one-dimensional person that I'm not even a person anymore. It's like I'm in Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, you know, like I made a list of all of the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing, and I was writing it down, and I'm like, you know, fucking like, I'm just going and going and going. I'm like, oh my god.
I would like to point out this is the second time he started to tell this story, and this is the second time he hasn't told us what any of those things are. He's just said, I keep coming up with things that I should be doing with my life. Oh my god. But, like, what? Bungee jumping? Like, is bungee jumping gonna make you not racist all of a sudden? Like, what the fuck? Huh? No? What? Huh?
God, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, I'm...
Do it. Do it. Transcribe the Bible. Transcribe the Bible on stream. And maybe you'll understand that the Bible, which is a large part of American culture and Western culture, particularly when you talk about the Roman Catholics, like you say you were brought up, and the Protestants, and if you learn about that, maybe you'll find the genocide that's in it. Multiple genocides. What? Huh?
Like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my god, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing, and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream, etc.? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down... This is going to sound like... I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream...
For somebody who spends their entire life talking, you fucking suck at this.
I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction. Which
That's not the criticism you're responding to here, though. I'm glad that you realize that you've been an asshole, but you not understanding that you've made this self-resolution or this self-realization or finally got some introspection on the backs of dead Palestinian people and the amount of harassment that people have gotten for criticizing you over this is beyond ridiculous. Like, he did, to be fair, he warned me. He said at the beginning, what I'm about to say might sound ridiculous, but I hope people believe I'm sincere. Then say it differently. Then refocus and reformat what you're doing. If you really felt that you needed to say something right away, then make a video that says, hey, listen, there's some shit going on. I was wrong about some stuff, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to say it and how I want to cover it. And I know this isn't going to be good enough for some people, but I have a lot of introspection to do, so I'm going to do that to make sure that the statements that I make and the apologies that I make are good and accurate and meaningful. Thank you if you're patient with me. Thank you if you're not. I totally get it. Boom. End of video. That will give you an amount of time that people will give you grace to reflect and figure out how and what you want to say and how to approach it to make it mean something. You're welcome. Free advice. On the other hand, what the fuck are you doing? Maybe you went too far. Maybe you need to course correct. Maybe you've been an asshole. These are so wishy-washy words of like, well, maybe I did, and maybe it's non-committal.
Which is why I think that, like, getting suspended in this, I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently and make sure to live up to that reality. And so, what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently?
Yes, what are those things?
The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life, and also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just expanding my existence as a person. I think that
are you sure that that's expanding who you are as a person if you're just going from streaming all the time to recording yourself and putting out a video? That doesn't sound like what you presented it as earlier. Earlier you presented it as, I spend too much time online and focused on content creation, so it's become the only thing that I do, which makes me very one-dimensional and doesn't give me a very good perspective. So so I made a list of all these things I could be doing with my life. So I want to make some very big life changes, and your big life change is that you're going to make more content, continue. What? He's making more content, and so what? I get that he's probably, hopefully, gonna say more than one. Well, he said one and then listed a handful of things, right? He said, one, I like to keep a consistent stream schedule, so I'm going to do that. That's not a change, that's maintaining. Two, and then I want to go to bed and wake up at a consistent time. Oh, okay. And then I want to make more content. So if the issue isn't that maybe he's got more that he's gonna add that might include touching grass, the issue is that his priority is still content creation, and it's still going to eat up the majority of his time. Right? He's like, I'm gonna stream a little bit less so I can put out videos? That's still internet based, that's still internet focused, that's still, I appreciate that, but that's not a change. And if that's still what your priority is, it's indicative to me that you haven't actually learned anything. And that's only one thing, but, touch grass, fingers crossed, touch grass.
Ever since I started OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had other Starforge and Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, honestly, it's been too much for me to handle. It's been completely too much for me to handle, and I've been losing my mind dealing with it, and I try to hide it the best I can, because I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. It doesn't matter how hard it gets, you just keep going, it doesn't matter. And eventually it does matter.
Yeah, that's not healthy. I agree with that. And if you're getting overwhelmed, I agree with that. That doesn't justify racism that you said wasn't racist, so that's not helping at all. Okay.
And I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them. And I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as...
Why? Sorry, not the fulfilling your responsibilities. I mean, why don't you want to talk about this specific thing? I get that you want to... I'm not saying don't talk about the last 2 years. I'm saying... why do you not want to talk about also this specific situation? Because it's a PR nightmare to do what you're doing?
A leader in a lot of cases to them, and I think that I've let a lot of people down. And there have been things that I've done that are positive as well. But I think that one thing this thing has taught me, this whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to, like, just get my life I need to fix my fucking life. Like, it's insane. Like, I think about it and it's in shambles. Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm gonna take a step
Okay, fair, reasonable, yeah. Alright, do it. Take a step back.
from all of that. I'm gonna step away from my leadership position in OTK and Starforge and everything. I wanna, and
But he really wants you to know that the reason he's doing that was because he was positive, but he doesn't feel like he's been fulfilling his obligations. Not because of the racism. Not that, like, the unity and dignity and acceptance part. Discrimination and hatred and violence. No. Trying to frame this like you're doing everybody a favor by working on yourself is not a good look. I can still appreciate that you're probably making a good choice for yourself, but trying to misrepresent and use that as a smokescreen to not address what you did and the consequences of those things is disingenuous at best.
they're fine with that. They respect that, and I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone. And
You were in control the whole time. It's your platforms. Getting overwhelmed is one thing, and saying stupid shit is another thing, but that's not what happened. He keeps throwing this really soft language out, and this really wishy-washy, I might have, maybe, but... And
I want to apologize to all you guys, my viewers, that I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now. And I don't even think that I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be. And I'm sorry. And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll...
You're sorry to your viewers that your life is in shambles and you've been LARPing as a cockroach? That you've built your community on being awful? And that you've built your, like purposefully being gross?
keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things.
When you get unbanned? I did note that it was a temporary ban. He thinks that all of the consequences to his actions are temporary. They're not. Particularly for the people that you threw under the bus. There are a lot of comments under these videos of being like, don't apologize, don't do this, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you want, I can pull it up. Hold on, let me pull up an example. Like, this is not taking responsibility. I would almost argue that this is irresponsible. Wants to, but doesn't. Yeah. Let me pull up an example here. Here we go. Asmongold's apology video is full of never apologize to the mob comments by lunatics, which pretty much reflects their inability to take accountability or see through a perspective that's outside of their own echo chamber. Like, Are you serious? Crazy how streamers held to a higher standard than politics. They didn't suspend him because he spoke his mind. They suspended him because he gave thousands of people an opportunity to agree with him. You are not wrong. I understood what you meant. There has never been a war in the history of the world that has not resulted in innocents being harmed. That is a straight up fact. This is that you're responsible for the community that you foster. That's a part of this. This instigated a shitload of harassment. This instigated a shitload of... And it's not the first time. This is just a extremely current, topical, and extreme example. Like he said about women, things that he said about artists, things that he is regularly doing this to people. And he's in here admitting that he's been doing it for 2 years, at least. But then he said, I've always been an asshole. He thinks being racist is just him being an asshole. He thinks being sexist is just him being an asshole. And it can just be like, I'm just being an asshole. I just need to get my life together. Okay, but what are you gonna do to make what you did wrong right? Oh, nothing, because you don't actually think you did anything wrong. You think you were correct, but you were just an asshole about it, and being an asshole is just excusable. Except what you said was racist. And a lot of the times what you say causes shitloads of harassment because of the community you built and you fostered and you're responsible for. And no, I'm not saying he's responsible for one fucking person that's a fan of his doing something insane or being an asshole. That happens. The larger you are, the more you're gonna get of somebody who doesn't agree with what you say and takes it and runs. Right? That's something separate. I'm talking about his community, not just an individual. Do you see these comments being removed out of curiosity? There's 68,000 comments on this. Yeah. Bro drank water, he's serious. Like... I'm sorry, I thought this was America, Randy Marsh 2005. So, like... yeah, it emboldens people.
That are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
So he's saying he's still gonna be an asshole. He's learned nothing. He's learned nothing. He's gonna change nothing. He's literally telling us how he is not going to change. Where's the other thing that he's gonna say that is not content creation on the internet? Where's him going to go touch some grass?
Right?
The magic grass.
And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's about a focus, and it's about a tone. I listened to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person. And it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore.
It's not racist, though, and what I said was right, but the way I said it was mean. Guys, the way I said that this other group of people is inferior to me was callous and mean. You know those things that Hitler said about the Jews? Yeah, that was mean. Oh my god. He needed to go touch some grass, so he decided to make more YouTube videos. No! What are you doing?
And I've spent a long time growing up. The time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very
We've gone full circle. We're all the way back around to the beginning of the video again. What? Oh no! Please, I beg you, stop. Please just stop. No!
negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects of Christianity and, the way that I view that. And I've always...
Then why are you treating Christianity as an exception? You fucking weird. Then why do you not have an issue with Israel? This is non sequitur. Your facts are disjointed. Like these two things aren't related. They're coincidental. It's just an excuse.
Negative effects of Christianity and, the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam. And I've made a lot of criticisms of it. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it. And I've been like watching things about it, and I've been like hearing people telling me this is the way it is, but I've never seen it. And
but you said you watched it. What do you mean you've never seen it? So you've been criticizing something for a long time that you knew nothing about and didn't research or learn anything of, and then made these sweeping statements about it that you've said were okay to make in this video?
I actually think that after all this, I think towards the end of next year, I think I'd like to visit the Middle East and see it for myself. I want to see it for a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul in Turkey. There's no ulterior motive there at all. But it's not just that. I'd love to play.
Listen, Asmongold's fan base, the people who were from the Middle East or had relations in the Middle East, that reached out to him and offered to help him out and offered to speak with him to make sure he was okay. This isn't your fault, and you do not feel responsible for that don't feel a need that you are obligated to help this person out because you've been following them for a long time, or feel obligated that you've like the sunk cost fallacy where you've spent a lot of time invested and maybe money invested in this individual. You tried. You did your best. No ulterior motives with that. So the thing that you're talking about doing to improve yourself has ulterior motives? So you've tainted the entire thing that you're supposed to be. Is this part of the things that you want to do to make yourself to get yourself off of line, to help yourself be better? Is traveling to Turkey for alternate reasons? I mean, yeah, go travel. Travel can be good for the soul, can be good for the mind, can be good to help expand your horizons and the things like that. That's great. I'm not gonna say don't go travel. Are you gonna go to Gaza? Like, that would be related to what you're talking about. Are you gonna go to Lebanon? Or are you gonna go to Afghanistan? Palestine?
visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places. I mean, the truth.
He wants to go to Dubai. Of course he wants to go to Dubai. He wants to go to Dubai and fucking flex on the haters for all of the fucking money he can spend in Dubai. I mean, at least maybe he'll learn that India isn't like a garbage dump. Ugh. Okay.
Truth is that, and this is the worst thing about what I said, some of the places that I would want to visit, I might not be able to because of the way that they're like just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But
That the worst thing you said is that you won't be able to travel somewhere because there's a war going on? What? I want to see the Middle East, so I'm going to Europe. I'm not that good at geography. Where is Turkey on a map? I don't want to look. I don't want to look. I don't want to know. I don't.
I want to do it and I want to see it for myself. Because I don't like believing what people tell me. And I think that when I...
Yes, you do. You only started... You're saying that now because you don't like that people are telling you you're racist. Why the change?
There, and I might not be able to do that. But I want to do it and I want to see it for myself. Because I don't like believing what people tell me. And I think that when I do, I end up being a fool. And I want to see it. I want to see it for myself and I want to experience it. And I want to live my life. And I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, like, clean up part of my house. I'm going to try to do this. And I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance.
You view having a normal house as a penance? A normal level of cleanliness? Listen, I know I said it was okay for children to be bombed and slaughtered in the streets because of their culture, but I'm gonna clean my room to make up for it, guys. And I'm gonna travel to learn something. Huh? Did you get that from Jordan Peterson? Fucking what? Basic hygiene is a penance? It's a punishment? What? What the fuck? What? Okay, I guess. He's gonna ritualistically punish himself with chores because of racism. Yeah, he was right at the beginning. This is ridiculous that people aren't gonna think I am earnest. Yeah, probably because you're not coming off as earnest.
I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, like, clean up part of my house. I'm going to try to...
Part of his house. Not all of his house, just part of it.
Do this, and I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance. And I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done, and for...
Like what? What bad things have you done? All you've said was you were an asshole. You haven't said that you've done any bad things. In fact, all you were doing was the bad things that people are calling out for you for. You've misrepresented to the point where I might just think you're lying and justified those things. So you haven't so what accountability are you taking? And also, how is cleaning part of your house taking responsibility for the things you've said and done to people?
Letting my life get this out of control, and I don't need a get out of jail free card. So I need to do that for my.
You said you're expecting to keep earning money and are expecting to get your Twitch channel back. That's a get out of jail free card. You're expecting to have no lasting consequences. The only lasting consequence you're expecting to have from this is having a clean part of your house that you're not even saying you're gonna maintain. You're just saying you're gonna clean it once as penance. And like that's somehow that's valid in any way at all. And you're gonna go traveling because that's okay. It's not like, and he didn't even say, he didn't say he's gonna take a break from streaming. He said he's gonna keep streaming, he's gonna keep up the schedule, he's gonna keep being an asshole. What the fuck? You know what? Alex, that's a good point. What are some things that we would recommend that Asmongold do? If we were like, if we wanted to think he was being genuine. Getting a psych evaluation, therapy. He's rich, isn't he? Doesn't he have $1 million? Maybe doing something like going to professionals that run charities and being like, hey, I've got money, how can I help? Volunteering? Maybe? Actually retracting his statements would be a start. He hasn't retracted anything. He said that everything he said was right. It was just the way that he said it was wrong. So what's the right way, Asmongold? And Asmongold followers? What's the right way to say that somebody else's culture is inferior to yours? What's the right way to say that? So he didn't dog whistle hard enough? And he said the quiet part too loud? Like, what do you mean?
Myself, and for my own closure as well. And I think also
closure of what? Bitch, you actually think people... Okay, alright.
And I don't need a get out of jail free card. So I need to do that for myself and for my own closure as well. And I think also I want to live for the idiots out there that, they're, like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing. And if...
Oh my fucking god, what a hero. So he knows that he has cultivated a shitty audience. And he's not gonna acknowledge or take responsibility for that. He's actually dismissing his responsibility that he has as a content creator by saying, like, I'm gonna do something better with my life, so therefore people are gonna follow me, even though following me... You literally just said following you and using you as a role model is a bad idea, and then saying me doing something good will have a positive effect on people who are using me as a role model. So now you're saying they should use you as a role model. I condemn you to 1 crusty sock out of 5.
If I can do that for one person, well, I've already done it for myself. I've already done a good thing, and so it could only get better. And so...
What? Are you... Is this motherfucker for real? This is unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
So that's what my plan is. I'm going to try to like rethink my life. I have had a lot of people reach out to me. People I would have never expected to reach out to me in ways that I never expected. And I understand that,
Who? Name drop them.
Like I'm still very critical about religious fundamentalism, right? But when you paint with such a broad brush that you just include an entire group of people, you're not. You're just being a fucking you're being a piece of shit.
But that's not what you did. That's a part of a section of what you did. That's not the entirety of what you did. Again, you're minimizing your racism and your genocide apologetics.
It's like people said it was racist. I didn't mean it as racist, but if you listen to what I said, it's easy that you could assume that. So easy.
What do you mean? Now you're saying that all these people who said you were racist because you said this very, very racist thing that is like the quintessential identifier of what is racist, and you're saying that those people were assuming and you didn't mean to be racist, but you haven't actually retracted your statement at all? What? Please tell Elmo what part of my culture and my race is better than yours because you are inferior isn't racist. This is unbelievable. Like I said, we've gone full circle. We're back to I'm just racist. You're gonna believe the things you saw and the words you heard? Well, you're just assuming. This is this is language abusers use when they're like, well, I didn't hit you that hard. You're not hurt. I can see why you assumed I wanted to hurt you, but I wasn't hurt. I wasn't trying to hurt you. You're not really hurt. Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
And so I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking moron. I've been an asshole. I think that I've devolved for the last
Guys, I'm not racist. I'm just a fucking idiot. So I shouldn't have to face any consequences for my actions. And this is just a bump in the road. I'll go traveling and clean my room as penance to make up for being an idiot. Even though what I said was still right, but it was just worded poorly. Why are you assuming I'm racist because I said racist things? That I'm not sorry for saying and that I'm doubling down we're correct. What the fuck? Why are we supposed to be giving this guy a pass again? Because he expects everybody to just give him a pass and give him his stuff back.
2 years. I think that I've negatively affected other people too, in ways that I don't even hate to say this. Like I think I need to say this. I need to say it more. I've negatively affected people in ways that I regret. I think whenever I go back live again, I'll probably talk about that more. And you know, like there's just different people I kind of want to apologize to, and you know, take accountability for things that I've said and done that have negatively affected other people in ways that were unfair and wrong.
I'm sorry, did he just sequel bait us? I'm going to apologize about some very specific things that I've done to some very specific people, but you're gonna have to follow to watch next time. No! How about we don't? How about you can't even properly apologize and take accountability for the thing that you said in this video? You haven't done that for a single thing in this video. The closest you've gotten is I'm an asshole. I'm gonna keep being an asshole, but this was an asshole, one asshole too far. Fucking what?
And that's what my plan is. That's about it. I want to say that I hope that now, after you've heard what I have to say, that a lot of you all can see kind of why I'm saying that I appreciate this. I really think that this is something I needed, and I hope that this is the next part of the rest of my life.
But you're just gonna keep doing what you're doing, and you expect people to still just support you. Okay, alright, the entitlement. Yeah, he hasn't lost any of his other channels. He still has his YouTube channel. He still has his Asmongold Twitch channel. The only Twitch channel he lost was one that he didn't make money on. He didn't have monetization turned on that channel, from my understanding. and then he respectfully parted ways with this one group that he worked with, Starforge. Right? Okay, I saw Pirate Software make statements about this, and they were probably the reason why that I was willing to try to listen to this video on whole before making any decisions about what he was saying. And I've got to say, I am incredibly fucking disappointed in Pirate Software.
And I want you guys to hold me accountable to that. So if I'm being a fucking asshole again, if I'm being mean, if I'm just being callous, acting like a psychopath, just treating people awfully outside of a WoW raid when they get killed by fire, but really laughing at people's misfortune, try to say, man, just chill the fuck out, stop it.
You're relying on your audience that you've cultivated by being an asshole, that you know are assholes and problematic people, to mitigate your behavior? And you're making that their responsibility instead of your own responsibility. What makes you think you should be allowed to stream on any platform at all after what you've said? The fucking entitlement. He can't control himself. He's got to rely on everybody else to do it for him. What in the fuck?
Just stop. And I'm gonna do my best to listen.
Yeah, by the way, you're doing half of that in this video.
I spent 2 years ignoring it, and look where it got me. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the problems in my life. And I want to thank everybody for making...
Ooh, poor him. Then get offline. That's not everybody else's responsibility. It's not the children in Palestine who are getting bombs' responsibility to be your fucking come to Jesus moment. Holy shit.
...me aware that that's the case. And hopefully I can avoid the iceberg, right? And so I want to say that's pretty much about all I've got. I'm sorry for a lot of people I let down. Not just with comments like this, but also just with the...
Comments like what? That their race, that their culture is inferior to mine? Because you still haven't been clear about what you said.
...way I've been doing things in general. I think that you guys deserve a much better version of me than what you've been getting. And I hope that I can live up to that in the future. And I don't even want to think about it in the future, right? As soon as I get unbanned,
as soon as I get unbanned, people are still gonna follow me. People are gonna do these things for me. People are gonna... He's probably right, which is part of the depressing things. He thinks he is entitled to people's time and support, and he's going to keep getting it. And he probably will. What in the fuck?
The best apology is better content, change behavior. And that's what I hope to do. So yeah, anyway.
No! Change the behavior, then make the content. Not better content, better behavior, new year, new me. No, go to therapy, do your shit, leave for a bit, reset your life, then come back. Then talk about this, then talk about what changes you've made. This is literally the thing he said earlier when he said he doesn't believe words matter. But no, what this is an opportunity for more content.
Anyway, guys, I'm just gonna focus on myself.
Make sure you tune in next time to see my real apologies. Make sure you tune in to make sure that I'm changing, because I'm holding you accountable to make sure that I change, and make sure that you follow to make that so you can see that what I'm doing is definitely different and I'm a better person. You need to follow and watch and subscribe and give me money.
For a while, try to improve my own life, and there's a lot of things I think, again, I'll probably talk about more.
He's not even offering to donate to Palestine. Like, he's not even offering to donate to, like, Doctors Without Borders or something. He's not even offering to, like, promote, like, anti-genocide stuff. Like, there's nothing. This is nothing.
Or whenever I go live again, that are like more kind of, just like kind of in the weeds, like personal stuff. But overall, that's the big picture. That's where I'm at. And so anyway, that's about all I've got. And I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to try to just take this time off to, really kind of fix my shit.
Holy
So, yeah, anyway,
shit,
guys,
dude.
that's about it. I'll see you later. Bye.
Yo, fuck this guy. Holy shit. Oh my fucking god. Yes, he posted this on October 20th. And it's, I guess, is before and after of his kitchen. Right? But there's a fucking spider on the knife. It's disgusting. I agree that that's very, very gross. And then he posts clean kitchen. Well, clean-ish counter, I guess. Did he clean all those things? Did he throw them away? Did he make a video? Ooh, I cleaned some dishes out of my gross sink and I scrub daddied it. Look at me. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Like, what? What? Okay, I guess. Ooh, wow, I'm very impressed. So, on October 16th, when this video came out, Pirate Software made this statement. And they said, in the wake of his ban, Asmongold put out an apology video talking about his conduct. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He misled people about what his conduct was. He was non-specific about his conduct, and he minimized his conduct. So I guess that's talking about his conduct. Technically. Sometimes apology videos come across as meaningless and hollow. This one does not. Why not? Why doesn't this one come across as hollow to you? It's got a lot of excuses and a lot of non-specifics. I'm so disappointed in Pirate Software. They've been kind of propped up and held up as like a wholesome, like good calls out bullshit when they see bullshit stream, and yikes. Been watching him for years and saw his conduct slowly change into angry takes and lashing out. Glad to see the self-reflection and a plan to move back to better time. What plan? What was the plan? He didn't talk about what new content he was going to do to replace the more aggressive content. And he said he was still going to keep doing it. Just need action to fit the words now. Does this count? Is this the action you're talking about? But the action is also going to be more content. And he links to the fucking, this video we just watched. Like, are you fucking serious? Why are you enabling him? You're not going to talk about the entitlement. You're not going to talk about how he said he wasn't being racist when he clearly said very racist shit. He's not, unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And then fucking, this one's from October 17th, so a following day, that says, I spent most of the day yesterday reading through the replies on my Asmongold post. Lots of hot takes on both sides claiming that he's irredeemable or did nothing wrong in the first place. Do you guys think that Asmongold is irredeemable? I think as long as as long as there's no consequences and no accountability, then he's not even accepting that there's anything that he did wrong in the first place. You cannot be redeemed unless you accept that you were wrong in the first place and what you were wrong about. In that apology video, there is no acceptance about what he did was wrong or why. There's excuses and justifications for what he did, which are also what he did is vague and minimized. So that's my take, but what's yours? For those things, I think he's irredeemable. what if you're wrong? The first chance at a real change in his behavior, there isn't. He's doing the same thing in that video that he's been doing. And the go-to is to hit him with a stick. You're creating an environment that only promotes further sliding into that character, because then at least he has acceptance. He didn't accept it. Oh, sorry, you mean acceptance from, like, bad people. Polarized environments don't help breed change. They just enforce more polarization. Okay. Listen, this is what I talk about when I'm talking about fake neutral. When you have to so heftily lean on one side to try to balance the scales, you're not being neutral anymore. Holding somebody accountable and asking for real accountability is not polarizing, especially when there are very real things. There's no debate about whether or not what Asmongold said was racist. You could debate on if Asmongold is a racist. You could have that conversation. That could be a conversation. But what he said was, in fact, racist. So if he's not going to accept that he was racist, and he's not going to take accountability, and he's not going to do anything, and he's going to make a bunch of excuses, and he says he's going to keep doing the same thing, there is already no change in behavior. If you're not going to hold him accountable, he's not going to change. All you're doing is enabling him. Would you rather someone with a massive following self-reflect and admit wrongdoing, which he did not do, or be pushed further into a hateful state? That's his responsibility, not everyone else's. You're doing the left was mean to me and I am a Nazi now. You're doing that meme. What kind of example is even being set here? The example that Asmongold is allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and he can be as racist as he wants, and people like you are going to enable him and shut down anybody asking to actually hold him accountable, and saying that he is not redeemable if he is not held accountable. You cannot be redeemed if you do not accept that you did something wrong in the first place. If you don't believe me, you want a really good example? The story of Calamity on Critical Role. In the story of Calamity, Xerxes attempts to redeem fucking Asmodeus. And what does Asmodeus say to him? You're trying to redeem me? You can't redeem me. I did nothing wrong. Asmongold does not believe he did anything wrong. The closest thing you got to him doing something wrong was him being too much of an asshole. But there's no specification of what that looks like or what that is. And then when he says, I'm gonna stop being an asshole, he said, well, hold on, let's not go too far. I'm still gonna be an asshole. Did you watch the same video I watched? For those that think he did nothing wrong, he admitted what he said was wrong many times. Where? To point in the video. Where? What is what he said? It was reductive, hateful, and needless. What is it? There is no questioning that at this point, and claiming it to be true just reinforces an echo chamber. You mean when he said he wasn't racist and what he said wasn't racist, and that when he said that what he said was reasonable and should happen? Citation needed, Thor. You're a big creator. You're a big creator where you could set an example of actual accountability, and instead you're like, oh, but we all need to make exceptions for Asmongold and pat him on the back. Listen, if you wanted to do that and still hold him accountable, what you could say is, there's a lot of things in this video that are not acceptable as an apology. But what I think is there is an opportunity at the first signs of introspection in him acknowledging that he is an asshole. I think if we hold his feet to the fire, or I think if we give him an opportunity to change and encourage him to acknowledge the racism part in a positive way, then I think some real positive change could happen here. That would have been acceptable. And that would have been you holding the door open for Asmongold to actually make a change. Instead, what you're doing is fucking jerking him off and being like, it's okay, sweetheart, you're fine. It's okay. These people are just haters and they're just wrong. Like, how, like, what, listen, they're just dead children. It's fine. The internet is a small place, but the world is larger than than your take on it. Fuck you? That's meaningless. Both extreme stances. This is not extreme. This is not extreme. Both extreme stances on this argument are absurd to me. Okay. I've spent my time fostering a community where failure is not an end but a beginning to growth. Okay, but then he needs to fail. Then you need to let him fail. You're not letting him fail. He still has all of his channels. He still has all of his fucking shit. And he's got people like you who have massive channels and massive followings sucking him off. For not apologizing. For making excuses. If growth happens through failure, then you need to let him fail by that logic. He hasn't failed at this point. What he's gotten is backlash. The first step is and always will be introspection and self-reflection. And where is that in that video? Just timestamp me, bro. Citation needed. There is no self-reflection in that video. He's like, I've been an asshole. I've always been an asshole, but I've been more of an asshole. But I'm gonna keep being an asshole. Which is still minimizing the very racist thing he said. For those that claim they lost faith in me and will no longer watch my content, you weren't watching it anyway if this is a surprise to you. I'm not surprised, I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. And I think a lot of what you're saying here is actually against a lot of the things that I think that Pirate Software likes to build his community around. Like, you know, fostering a community where failure is not an end of beginning. But you're not letting him fail. Why not? Why is Asmongold unique? Why are we special pleading for Asmongold? What justification do you have for that? You don't need to... Yeah. Thor needs to stomp on him if he means half the shit he says. That's the disappointment with Thor, and it lets you know where people stand. I agree. I think that if Thor was actually, like, I understand that people have blind spots, and I understand that sometimes people miss out. But the problem is when you have a massive audience, or really any audience at all, you have to be way more tactful and way more careful about these types of statements. And now they're just like, if you're criticizing me, you're not a real fan. That's what he's saying here, which is double disappointing. Triple disappointing. Like, that's part of the, like, this is a bad statement, period. Just this alone. Like, this is bad. This is fine, except that it's not in the video. So this is bad, and then this is very bad. He sounds like Blizzard. Yeah, you're not wrong. Does it mean he will come out of this the person you want him to be? Likely not. Why? You are now admitting that you do not believe that Asmongold is legitimately trying or is legitimately changed. Or is even legitimately trying to change. So then why are you saying all this other shit? You literally don't believe him, but you're saying that people are criticizing you for believing him. Fucking what, dude? This is so irresponsible. But I can both denounce his awful behavior. Where is your denouncement? And positively reinforce his good behavior. What good behavior? Where's his good behavior? What's his bad behavior? What's his good behavior? Tell Elmo. Define it. What are the things that he did that was bad? What are the things that he's doing that are good and positive changes? Choosing to go to travel, which he hasn't done yet. Cleaning a part of his kitchen, part of his house. Okay, those are positive changes, I guess, in his personal life. And so just like I would for anyone else. Then define it. Then do that. You're not doing that thing. You're claiming you're doing the thing that you're not doing. You're just telling people you're bad for having the conversation in the wrong way. People have reasons, good ones, to think that he's irredeemable. Because again, you cannot be redeemed if you do not believe you did anything wrong in the first place. For those who think that he did nothing wrong, there's no statement about what he did wrong in this paragraph. Thor isn't sitting here definitively saying this thing that he said was wrong. Nowhere. You're just making excuses that he admitted that what he said was wrong many times. It was reductive, hateful, and needless. What was it? This is a terrible fucking statement, and then you're just gonna dismiss everybody. You're not a real fan if you disagree with me about this, or you say I'm wrong, or you say I'm not following the standards that I put forward. You're not a real fan. Fuck you. He just told everybody to go fuck themselves, and then said he agreed with them. But, wow. I'm so disappointed. I expected better. But, you know, at least that, allegedly, that huntsman spider, or that whatever spider that is, a recluse, a brown recluse, probably. At least that spider isn't in his kitchen sink anymore. Yippee! Racism is over, everybody! Asmongold tidied his kitchen. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna get out of here. This was awful. Look forward to some changes on the channel. If you like what I had to say here, hit me up, give me a follow, subscribe, whatever the fuck. I'm leaving. I hate everything. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. I'm gonna get something to eat. Fuck, man. Fuck, dude. Fucking shit.
This guy is unfucking believable.